Magical butterfly spirit here, whether you're Aries or a Pisces or any sign in between. This is your weekly tarot reading. Let's get started. Alright, so let's go ahead and get started with your weekly reading for this week. If you're a Patreon member, stick around. Your extended will be available towards the end of the reading. And if you're not a Patreon member, $5 to sign up. Link is in the description. It includes this full video, unedited, as well as the extended. Alright, so let's see our weekly tarot reading. All signs we have. You're ready. That needs to be had, that is going to guide you towards your best life. This is running into the weekend prediction that I recently uploaded. Scarcity is holding back your abundance, or something along that line. There is a definite need for the collective, and I consider myself part of the collective, so I'm not talking down to anyone. I'm right here with you guys. That we as a collective need to grow our understanding of our true potential, tap into that power, and manifest based on the new timeline that we are being guided towards. I'm seeing this waterfall, and when you place it over this card and you lay it flat, the way I was reading it, it felt more like a roadmap, like it was going upwards, like this was a stream instead of a waterfall going downwards, like this was a stream heading into this new timeline, this new abundance, this new love, this new career, this new job, whatever it is that is what we want. I just heard someone on weight loss, because I'm looking at the bread falling, and I just heard weight loss for somebody, or fitness will probably be a better terminology. Whatever it is that you have been wanting desperately. I'm not talking about a new bag or manifesting a cute pair of shoes or $1,000 extra. I'm talking something that you've been actively craving and desiring is available to you within the next time frame between now and throughout the winter season. My ancestors are saying that we're ready to receive it. The next step is working towards that manifestation. Meditation brings answers. Prayers brings answers. Sitting in silence brings answers. Listening to high vibrational music brings answers. Being true to ourselves brings answers. Patreon saw it earlier in the video, but it was cut out in this YouTube video. And we talked about nakedness and exposing ourselves in order to grow. And it seems like what's missing, the missing ingredient for us to manifest into this new timeline that we're being directed to, is vulnerability. It's admitting what we truly desire. It's admitting the things that no longer serves us. It's admitting that we are good enough to receive everything that we've been craving, that we're too scared to admit to ourselves and to others. If you watched any of my last 5 videos. I keep referring back to the Welcome to Virgo Season post that I listed, and you don't have to be a Patreon member. You could just click on the link, it'll take you there. I made it public so anybody could read it. In the post, it talks about stopping this living small mentality, that accepting the big things is in the best interest for us. And they just told me, I just heard the analogy of, if you reach for the stars, even if you fail, you'll still get to the moon. And they're saying you will never fall. You might not get to the stars, but baby, you'll be floating in a new universe. So with that knowledge of, I have the ability to float in a new universe, there's no reason for us to hold back on the big picture of things. You want to move to a new location and you're thinking to yourself, I can find a small trailer to live in. No. Start thinking about the new home that you could live in. You're thinking about backpacking through Europe. No. Think about the 5-star hotels that you could visit while you're in Europe. All the amazing things that you could do in your life, but expand it. You want to travel? Think travel luxury. You want an amazing new job? Think the highest possible pay rate that you could receive for that job. That job pays between $12 and $22 an hour. Aim for that $22 an hour. And if that job doesn't give you the $22 an hour, find another job that will pay you that $22 an hour, or whatever pay rate, the high pay rate that you set for yourself. Because you earn it. You deserve it. I'm sorry if my hair was making a lot of static. I apologize. No one on this planet deserves it more than you. We need to stop thinking that there's people more deserving than us, because you are taking away your own power when we do so. Focus. This is a season to focus on you. Y-O-U, you. It's okay to be selfish sometimes. And over the next 4 to 6 months, it's time for us to be selfish, collective. It's time for us to say, I don't know if you guys know this commercial. I don't know if it's nationwide, but there's a commercial that used to play all the time.
My money and I need it now.
Like, it has to be that energy. Like, it's my new job and I want it now. It's my money and I want it now. It's my new love and I want it now. It's my travel dreams and I want it now. I'm being pushed in every reading, in the last 3 readings at least, to encourage you, to encourage me to aim higher. And this message is going to keep resonating until we do so. All right, so we're going to move on to the love part of this reading. There is a general reuniting of divine partnerships. Not necessarily love, mainly love, but not necessarily love. It could be family members, it could be friends, it could be work relations. But what I'm getting, and if you notice how it's laid out, let me move up the vulture card so you can see it a little bit better. It's as if whatever this was that disrupted your union, again, not necessarily love, apply it as you may, but whatever it is that disrupted your union with your person that you're thinking about, there was indeed deception involved in this. There was a cover-up. So there was someone who pretended that they were the innocent one and you were the problem. And I have a feeling by me saying that, you know exactly what this situation is and who it is that you were separated from. There was someone in your life or in that person's life, your person, again, family, love, interest, divine partnership, play it out as it may, who was a vulture that they fed off your hardship, your neglect with the person you love. They fed off the separation of it. They enjoyed it. It was a manipulative game that they played. They wanted to see how far it can go to pull you away from the person that you cared about the most. Look at this picture. You have one person distracting the male, and you have someone hiding in the background. I'm being told this is you. You're begging for your person to look at you, to not trust who this person is. They're pretty up, dolled up, makeup, everything. Everything to the guys. They're looking fabulous, and that's all that person can see. You're here being your usual, beautiful, self-confident self, when all of a sudden this person comes in and disrupts the world. It was like earthquake, and it caused a disruption in your energy. I'm seeing chakras being thrown apart, not even like misaligned, like they're all over the place. One's in one region of the world and another's in another. No exaggeration. It got asundered. You were led to a point where you were mentally, physically, and or spiritually disrupted because of the situation, how bad it got. Because you no longer felt confident in your worth, your value, the things that you could achieve. This person caused it. This person allowed it. And in some way, because we always have to accept our faults, in some way you allowed it too, because you did not set a strong enough boundary for this to never even occur. Now that you've been separated from that person, for some people it took a very long time. I'm seeing years. But you finally got to a point where you are starting to feel yourself again. You're starting to remember, this is who I am. They're showing me the back of the card where Betty got her hands up in the air like, yes, yes. Like you're like in celebration mode, but you're alone. And the reason why you're alone is because you're scared that this situation or something unlike it will happen again. And you're so scared that you probably manifested a similar situation in your life time and time again while you were going through the healing process, which created a paradox where you were reaffirming your fears. You were saying, see, I knew it. I start trusting people again. I start seeing people again. I start hanging out with my family again. And something like this similar happens again. And that's because you were manifesting your worst fears. But now you're in a place where that's not the case anymore. The problem is you don't know it yet. The problem is you don't realize how much healing you have done, and that you are no longer this person cowering in the back because you didn't set up strong enough boundaries. Your boundaries are set. They are firm. Great Wall of China. The problem is, it's the Great Wall of China. It might be a little bit too set up where now people have to crawl and use those pulleys to get over the wall. So you're being guided to create some doorways in your Great Wall of China so people have easier access to you. Keep up your boundaries, but also allow people to enter your space, because what you don't realize is you're also keeping out your divine partner. The person that needs to be in your life right now, supporting you, loving you, caring for you as you move into this new lifestyle that the collective is being guided towards. I just heard no man or woman, no man or a woman. I had to correct my ancestors because they said no man, but I'm like, come on now. No man or a woman can do it all alone. They always need someone, whether in the forefront or in the background, supporting them, helping them get to the person they can be. You are being guided to find the person. Actually, I just heard you don't have to find them. They're there. They're waiting. They're standing at the front of the gate, waiting for you to let them in. You've been separated from this person far too long. This is not a new person for a lot of you. For many of us, I just heard the word us. They say you too, Joy. For many of us, we've been separated from this person for far too long. And it's time for a heart-to-heart conversation that will help guide this reunion back to a new path. The old path is erased. The old path of this can never be achieved again. Because you are both in a new place right now where they too don't want this to happen again. They may see this situation a whole lot differently than you do, because let's be real, they look like they had a lot more fun than you during this time period, right? But they were still hurt by the separation. They still miss you, they still love you, they still want to be in your life. But this didn't work out, which means that the situation can't work in a situation that it was before. It needs to move on into a more peaceful, loving relationship where communication is the key. And they keep telling me over and over again, communication is the key. Communication is the key. The fairies are whispering to them, talk. Talk. They're saying it over and over again, talk, talk. So, open up. Open up. Open up a gateway where things can manifest in your life, and the person that is designed to help you manifest, because again, I said it's not just love. It could be a business partnership, it could be a family member, however it works out. But create the environment where that person or those people could come into your life to help you. All right, now finally I'm going to move on to the tarot. can I explain this? This feels like the root of a tree, where on the surface part, if you ever saw a tree and the roots are kind of sticking above the ground, where like if you're not careful you could actually trip over it. This is the surface. This is what you've been going through. This is the growth underneath the ground, the roots underneath the soil that is happening in your life that you're not aware of. Okay, so keep that in mind as I talk about this. So this is you right here, the Empress. So we have the Nine of Dice. We have the deck card in reverse. The Ace of Dice, and the dice card in this deck, this is the Stranger Things deck, the dice card is a sword. So this is the Ace of Swords in the reverse, the Nine of Swords in reverse, and we have the Three of Scoops, which is the Pentacles, the Three of Pentacles in the reverse. We have the Devil upright. We have the Star upright. We have the Wheel of Fortune. It came out in the reverse, but if the energy felt like it was upright. And then we have the triple threat of the Six of Cups, the King of Wands, and the Fool. They wanted me to put these together. Alright. Alright, so here's what I got. Alright. What you experience is valid. You've been through it. It was rough. It was a situation where it made you rethink your whole life. Everything was topsy-turvy. Everything was topsy-turvy. Everything went like crazy. The changes that happened uprooted everything that you know and love. It made you feel inadequate. It made you feel alone. But the thing is that this situation, as hurtful and sometimes tragic for some people as it was, right? It created a new you, a powerhouse. I just heard the word powerhouse. Of someone who, now that you know what your dark side is, can embrace it and use that power to create things that other people will never be able to create, because you know how powerful the dark side is, but you choose to use that power for good. I keep hearing the word dark feminine, embracing the dark feminine. People are scared of the dark feminine because of how strong and powerful that energy is. You took the dark feminine energy, or you're taking it, and you're creating a beautiful dance that people cannot stop watching. They can't stop watching you, because you funneled this energy of the dark and you mixed it with the light and you balanced it in between. Remember that great wall that we talked about? You learn how to build strong enough boundaries where you won't get hurt. The key is to learn how to create access points to let the right people in. And that's where this combo energy comes from. If you can master this, and many of you are mastering it as I speak, the energy is of the collective, is your divine plan that you came on this earth with. It's now, you have now been granted the ability to rewrite it to how you may want it. A lot of people in my collective are generational curse breakers, and that is not an easy task. And if you feel like I'm done and you want to move on, you are being granted the access to accelerate the generational curse breaker, so it's not something that will take up your entire life, that you could break this curse now and move on to another level. But it's not just for the generational curse breakers. This is for anyone. Whatever it is you came on this planet to do. And unfortunately, for some reason, you wrap that plan around sorrow and hate and pain because you decided in order for it to happen, you need sorrow and hate and pain. Because you learn how to mix the light and the dark, you'll be able to tap into your spiritual powers while avoiding all the sadness and hate and pain that a lot of spiritualists go through. There's an opportunity in store for us where, again, things from the past, person, place, and things, we are able to rewrite it into how we want it. This is the energy moving forward over the next few days, weeks, and into winter, where we are no longer being held back by our past, and we will take the opportunity to rewrite our future. This is divine. This is part of our destiny. I just heard it's as if this was a video game. We've unlocked the secret level. Now it's time to play because we're the Empress. We're the baddie. We're the ones that get to go out and wear ridiculous costumes if we so choose. And don't care what anybody else thinks. And it's through this heartache and pain, it's as if the universe or your angels or God or however you practice your spirituality, they're saying, you had enough. You had enough. You went above and beyond. They're grateful for you. But this energy, this stuck energy of, I need to suffer to help others, or no one understands me, or I have to do this for other people, or how come no one can love me the way I want to be loved? This energy is no more. The problem is we're not recognizing it. So they want us to recognize it. And the very second we let that in for just a second, they said, a little thought that says, you know what? I don't need this anymore. This no longer serves me. Even if it's for a few seconds, you'll start jumping into this area, to this new, you may have heard the word timeline a lot, right? This new timeline of, I create my destiny now. And this has no part in my new life. I'm no longer afraid of the darkness. I embrace it. I play with it. It's a part of me and I love it. And if anybody can't take me at my worst, they don't deserve me at my best. Alright, collective, that's all I have for you. Thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe If you enjoyed this reading and if it resonated with you, leave me a comment and let me know. And Patreon, don't forget to stay to the end for your extended reading. And until next time, bye bye everyone.